Hello, hockey fans. My name is David. I thought I would start this video on the afternoon of Sunday, 4th of September, 12:46 North American Eastern Time. Thought I would do is do it in two parts. One about the ongoing International Ice Hockey Federation Women's Worlds Medal Games, one of which has already featured a bronze handed out to the Czech Republic via its win over its Swiss counterpart. The other going a little bit later between the Canadian and American teams to determine the gold medalist. The loser will get silver. So I'm very pleased about the Canadian team's appearance in the 2022 IIHF Women's World's Top Division Gold Medal game. So it means a guaranteed medal, which is very important. Hopefully, the Canadians will have good form, and if they lose, it'll be by a thin margin, by a goal, and not like ridiculous what happened in the round robin. So yeah, enough of that. I'm going to concentrate much of the rest of this video on response to one by Nathan Grav, an American YouTuber who claimed that the rebuild by the Habs under Kent Hughes as general manager have been going quite well. Well, we shall see how well it continues to go. But although I've already posted 2 comments on that video. I'm going to provide a link as soon as possible after I have uploaded this video. There's no doubt in the world that the rebuild of my hometown Leafs, by contrast, hasn't been going as well. Okay, so 6 straight seasons in the postseason. Isn't that a good thing? Just going to, in terms of postseason appearance streaks, just going to go there. NHL postseason appearance streaks. So postseason appearance streaks. The Leafs are tied for 4th among longest postseason appearance streaks with the Bruins. With the Capitals, Predators, and Penguins having had even longer streaks of postseason appearances than the Leafs. Yet, among those teams that last season appeared in the postseason, that had appeared in no fewer postseasons than the Leafs, well, yeah, the Leafs, Bruins, Capitals, Predators, and Penguins all lost their first round series. But take a look at some teams, the teams that last postseason won at least one round among those teams that appeared in the postseason. So, the Avs at 5 straight seasons won Stanley Cup. The Lightning appeared in the same Stanley Cup final. The Canes won a playoff series before losing in 7 games to the New York Rangers in that semifinal series. St. Louis Blues lost in the second round to the Avs. The Oilers lost in the conference final to the Avs. The Panthers lost in the second round to the Tampa Bay Lightning after, at long last, snapped a playoff series win drought that had started in the 1990s. The Flames beat the Stars to advance to the Battle of Alberta, to the first Battle of Alberta playoff series that had taken place since the 90s. And yes, the Rangers. So, yeah, so basically, yes, 8 teams from those 16 advanced at least one playoff series during the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. So among teams, so in a nutshell, how many teams? So yeah, so we have 8 teams that had made the postseason during fewer consecutive seasons than the Leafs, but had managed to win at least one playoff series apiece. So among teams that won that by the end of last postseason had appeared in the playoffs during that said postseason, only the Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars, and LA Kings did not manage to win their first round series. Just 3 teams of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those 11 with fewer consecutive postseason appearances than the Leafs, among teams with active streaks, managed to lose their first round series. It says, postseason appearances aren't everything. And that's what's really hard to understand. For me, it's just the mentality of of the board of directors, of the ownership group of the Leafs, doesn't impress me very much. In fact, I give it a failing grade. I give it an F for the rebuild, because as much as regular season success is important, playoff success also matters. The Leafs are not above criticism. And with GM Dubas having multiple down on the core of Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Nylander, and defenseman Morgan Rielly, I find problematic. Leafs are adding pieces around the edges. Because of their cap crunch, they're not able to add more quality pieces, because they gotta pay for them. And the salary cap, the mismanagement of cap space under Dubas, has contributed to where the Leafs are now. Who knows if they're going to make the postseason? And during the Dubas era, did Jim Benning of the Canucks win more playoff series than Dubas did? Yes, albeit only 2. Did Brad Treliving of the Calgary Flames win more playoff series up to and including last spring, than Dubas? Yes. What about Ken Holland? After 3 seasons or so with in charge? Yes. 2 postseason series victories. After the Oilers had lost Game 1 of the Kings-Oilers series, I thought that the Oilers couldn't win a game. They hadn't won a game since having hosted within their own bubble at Rogers Place, also the home arena of the WHL's Oil Kings. Yeah, the Oilers hadn't won a series since then. Hadn't won a game since that series with the Blackhawks. 2021 was a sweep by the Jets. Well, the Jets, it might have helped if the Jets didn't make the postseason this time. But again, let's look at what happened. I mean, the Oilers did elevate their game. I mean, heck, even Kevin Cheveldayoff, GM of the Jets, has managed to, during Dubas' time, the Leafs won more playoff series. Mark Bergevin was the most successful among the GMs, of Canadian teams, of having won multiple playoff rounds since the Leafs hired Dubas to be GM. It's just that this rebuild's not going well in terms of postseason success. It's why, as much as I respect the success of the Habs during the postseason, I root for a combo of non-Habs Canadian teams during the postseason, because of my hope, with the Habs having won more Stanley Cups after 1967 than the other Canadian teams combined, that a non-Habs Canadian team will, for the first time since the Oilers in 1990, win a Stanley Cup. Perhaps 2023 will be the year during whose postseason at least one of the Senators, Leafs, Jets, Flames, Oilers, and Canucks will emerge victorious. It's going to be interesting to find out if that happens, but in the meantime, it's go Canada go, and go Leafs go.